This isn't my usual Reddit post, but I needed to vent to somebody since I have no one. Anyways, here's the deal. I had paid $17,000 for my sister's IVF. She cried, thanked me, told me I was saving her life. 7 months later, I found out the baby she's carrying is my husband's, and they never even used IVF. I'm 34, married to Kyle, who's 36. We've been together for 6 years. Not perfect, but stable. I thought I hit the marriage jackpot. Then there's my sister, Lacey. She's 31, emotional, chaotic, and constantly in some kind of personal crisis. But I've always tried to be the good sister, the supportive one. About a year ago, she showed up at my house bawling. Her boyfriend left her, and a fertility specialist told her her chances of getting pregnant were slim. She said, "I don't want to die alone. I just want a baby, before it's too late." A few weeks later, she asked me to help her pay for IVF. At first, I said no. It was a huge ask, but she kept bringing it up, sending me articles, baby clothes. Even left a sonogram photo on my fridge with a sticky note that said, "Manifesting this." Then Kyla's own husband started pushing me to help her. He said, "She's your sister. If we can afford it, why wouldn't we help?" Eventually, I gave in. $17,000. That's what it cost. I wired it directly to the clinic Lacey told me she was using. She even gave me login access to track her appointments and labs. She texted me updates every week, blood tests, sonograms, the works. And then she got pregnant. I was thrilled. I threw her a baby shower, bought her a crib, paid for her hospital bag. It felt good to do something so meaningful for someone I loved. But then I noticed something. Kyle started acting weird. He'd ask about her symptoms a little too often, offer to drive her to appointments. I caught him once sitting in the nursery I helped her set up, just staring at the baby mobile. I thought maybe it triggered something in him. We talked about kids before, but never seriously. I figured maybe he was just emotional. Then, one day, I found Lacey wearing one of Kyle's hoodies. She claimed she grabbed it by accident, but it smelled like his cologne, and it was freshly washed. Another night, during dinner, she joked, "This baby's gonna look just like his daddy," and looked Kyle dead in the eyes. Everyone laughed, except Kyle. He froze. Still, I didn't want to believe anything was going on. Until last week. Kyle left his phone charging on the nightstand. I never go through his phone, but something told me to look. A message popped up. "Lacey, he's kicking again. I think he knows it's you." My stomach dropped. I opened the thread. There were months of messages, dozens of photos, videos, voice notes, plans, even a clip of the two of them kissing in his car, parked in my driveway. One message said, "It still blows my mind that she paid for it. What would she do if she knew the baby is really ours?" Ours. I walked into the bathroom and handed Kyle his phone. He asked, "What's this?" I said, "You tell me, Dad." First, he denied everything. Then he said it was just once. Then, finally, he admitted it. He said Lacey asked to try naturally just once to see if it would work. He said he felt guilty, that she was vulnerable, that she begged. I asked, "So you cheated on me because IVF was too cold?" He said, "It was a mistake. We didn't plan it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I left. Drove straight to Lacey's place. She opened the door eating a popsicle, like nothing happened. When I told her I knew, she didn't deny it. She smirked. She said, 'You weren't supposed to find out.' That was her first response. Not, 'Sorry,' not, 'Please forgive me,' just, 'You weren't supposed to find out.' Then she said, 'Thanks, by the way. You gave me a life. That baby wouldn't exist without your money. Thanks.' She thanked me for funding her betrayal. I told her I was going to ruin her. She laughed. She said, 'Go ahead. Everyone online supports me anyway.' She's been posting cryptic TikToks, belly photos, strong single mama chosen family only. Chosen family, like I'm the toxic one. I told our parents. My dad lost it, said he was cutting both of them off. My mom, on the other hand, said, 'Maybe this baby's a blessing. Maybe it's time to forgive.' She actually said, 'You're not a mother. You wouldn't understand.' Kyle begged me not to leave, said he wants to co-parent with Lacey but rebuild with me. I blocked him. I filed for divorce 3 days later. But here's where it gets crazier. 3 days after that, I got a call from the real IVF clinic. They said someone tried to access my account pretending to be me. It triggered a fraud alert. That's when I found out. Lacey never did IVF, not even once. She faked the whole thing. Fake emails, fake screenshots, fake lab reports. She even bought fake syringes to show me her hormone shots. It was all a scam. She stole my money to play mommy and she used my husband to do it. So I filed a report for identity theft and fraud. And then came the final twist. Kyle's mom called me crying. She said, "I know you're hurting, but you deserve to know. The baby isn't Kyle's." I said, "What?" She said, "They did a paternity test. The baby's not his." Turns out, Lacey was also sleeping with her ex the same week she seduced Kyle. So, after everything, she destroyed my marriage, my trust, my savings. The baby isn't even Kyle's. She burned our whole family to the ground for nothing. I moved out, changed my number, started therapy, got a new job. I'm building a new life from scratch. Last week, she gave birth. I didn't visit. I don't even know the baby's name. She posted a photo on Facebook. Just us two, no fake people allowed. And honestly, I felt nothing. Not sadness, not anger, just peace. Because the second I stopped trying to save people who were happy to watch me drown, that's when I finally started breathing again. Next story. My dad cheated on my mom, vanished for a decade, and popped back into my life like nothing happened. Then had the audacity to ask me to pay for his honeymoon with the woman he left us for. When I said no, he tried to sue me for 50, claiming I owed him for emotional damages. I, 28F, cut my dad, 56M, off when I was 17. And no, it wasn't some rebellious teen phase. It was survival. My dad was the classic fun dad, who loved the spotlight but hated responsibility. He'd take us to amusement parks and act like the best father ever in public, but behind closed doors, he was cold, manipulative, and cruel. He cheated on my mom, now 54F, for years with a woman named Amber, now 33F. Yes, you read that right. She's only 5 years older than me. When the truth finally came out, he didn't apologize. He didn't beg for forgiveness. He just shrugged and said, it wasn't working anyway. Then he left, moved in with Amber, and ghosted his own kids. No child support, no birthday cards, nothing. My older brother, now 30M, tried to keep in touch with him at first, but after one too many no-shows and broken promises, even he gave up. My mom was devastated. She had to pick up extra shifts just to keep us afloat. I took a part-time job at 16 to help with groceries. Our lives got harder, but also weirdly better. There was peace in the house for the first time. We learned to lean on each other. We built something from the wreckage. Fast forward a full decade. I hadn't seen or heard from my dad in 10 years. Not a peep. Not even when I graduated college. Not even when I landed my first job. Just radio silence. Until 6 months ago. Out of nowhere, I get a Facebook message. "Hey kiddo, I've been thinking about you. Would love to reconnect." I stared at it for a full 5 minutes. Then I closed the app. Over the next few weeks, he kept trying. Texts, voicemails, even an email titled, "From your dad, who still loves you." He even sent me a video of him and Amber walking their dog on a beach, like we were just old friends who'd lost touch. Eventually, curiosity got the better of me. I agreed to meet him for coffee. One time. Neutral territory. He looked older, but not in a sad way. Just smug. Like life had been good to him. He hugged me like we were old pals and launched into stories about how he'd found himself, how Amber had helped him heal, and how he regretted the distance but believed everything happens for a reason. I barely spoke, just listened. It felt rehearsed. Then he dropped it. He was getting married to Amber, and he wanted me there. I told him I'd think about it. Spoiler, I didn't. 2 weeks later, another message. "Hey, I was wondering if you might be able to help with something. Amber and I are trying to plan a special honeymoon, but things are tight right now. Would you be willing to contribute? Maybe 40? Just a little support to show we're moving forward as a family." I read it 3 times. This man who hadn't bought me a birthday present since I was 16 wanted me to pay for the honeymoon with the woman he blew up our family for? I replied, "Absolutely not. You don't get to walk back into my life and ask for money. You chose your path. You can fund it yourself." He replied, "I see. Guess forgiveness isn't in your vocabulary." I blocked him. But he wasn't done. 2 weeks later, I got a letter in the mail, certified, from a legal representative. My dad was attempting to sue me for $5,562. The reason? Emotional damages. He claimed that my refusal to engage in the familial reconciliation process caused him significant distress, and that my callous rejection constituted abandonment of a dependent elder. Mind you, this man owns a boat and a rental property. He is not a dependent anything. I contacted the lawyer. It turned out to be Amber's cousin, who took a couple of online paralegal courses. I hired a real attorney to send a cease and desist. They dropped it, but not quietly. My dad made a public Facebook post. A full essay about how his firstborn daughter had turned against him, how he had tried to reconnect only to be coldly dismissed in his hour of need. He even posted old pictures of us together, captioned one, "She used to call me daddy. Now she calls a lawyer." The post got traction, shared over 150 times. Old church friends, extended family, people I hadn't seen in years all started messaging me. Some were sympathetic. Others asked why I was breaking his heart. Then it got worse. I found out my dad and Amber started a GoFundMe for their honeymoon. The title? Help Us Celebrate Love After Pain. The description painted me as the villain. After a decade of estrangement, we tried to rebuild bridges. Sadly, those bridges were burned by bitterness and rejection. Now we just want a fresh start. They raised nearly $3,800. But here's the kicker. Last month, I got a call from my cousin, Dad's niece, who works at a hotel in Florida. She said she saw a reservation under Amber's name for a honeymoon suite. Out of curiosity, she looked deeper. It was booked 6 weeks before he messaged me. They never wanted reconciliation. The entire reach-out moment was just a setup to guilt me into funding a trip they'd already planned. I felt sick, like physically ill. It wasn't just manipulation, it was theater, and I was supposed to be the emotional prop. So, I did something petty, maybe even cruel. I sent all the evidence's screenshots, the fake lawsuit, the GoFundMe, the hotel receipt with date stamps to every single person who commented on his Facebook post. Some apologized, others doubled down, but the post was deleted within 24 hours. Haven't heard a word since. But it's not silence I hear now. It's peace, and that peace is loud. I used to think closure came from forgiveness, but now I realize it comes from knowing who someone really is and choosing to walk away anyway. My dad taught me that, and I didn't pay a single dime for the lesson.